Welcome to Actually Controller, the podcast that is actually Controller, and we are actually in control of everything you are hearing right now. I'm so very sorry.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Actually Controller. You got Steve.
You got Chad.
And it's Jeffrey.
And Chris.
Yay. Welcome back, everybody.
Today,
Crack that open, baby.
if we can crack open.
Oh, there it is.
Should totally put that on the microphone.
Today we're supposed to talk about,
We are supposed to.
Let's see where this
That
goes.
was our assignment from the principal.
exactly, we are supposed to talk about places you've been to or trips you would love to go to.
No, favorite.
Yeah.
Favorite?
No, your favorite place that you have been to, either a vacation or a road trip.
Man, we screwed this up right away. It
Yeah.
is
We're really
your
good at
favorite
this.
road trip or vacation.
Favorite road trip or
We're
vacation?
and then
famous
your dream
podcasters.
road trip or vacation.
Yes.
Did you say we're famous?
Yeah, we're famous podcasters.
That's amazing.
See, we're in control of absolutely nothing.
We have 2 patrons.
Haha. Oh, no, we're in control of editing.
I really appreciate those 2 Patreons right now.
And the 2 patrons are awesome.
We're not doing the Patreon challenge this time, guys. Shut up.
No, we are not. And
But by the way, subscribe.
yes, and to throw this out there also, we did not talk about this in the last few episodes, but as a reminder, if you listen to us only through Spotify, Apple, any of the just podcast services, all of our older episodes, little by little, do expire and get removed little by little.
They go bye-bye.
If you want to catch up on any of the old episodes, please either go to Patreon so you can actually watch the video only
Yeah,
version.
you get video.
Or you can go to YouTube, or if you really want to make you hate yourself, you can scroll through our Facebook wall for post after post after post and find
Oh, God.
every single weekly post
They'll always
eventually.
be there.
Probably
Or yeah, you can just go to our YouTube and actually look up the.
I think you can click media or videos or something. It should
Probably.
be able to hyperlink you right to.
Yep, but it's probably easier if you just go to our Patreon.
Yes.
Or if you want to just get the audio only, you can do that through our YouTube. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, just wanted to, for anybody who's only listening and you're wondering where all the old episodes are going, it's because our distribution service only holds episodes for 90 days.
And
So-
it's because Steven...
You can search on Facebook, Actually Controller,
Whoa.
and it comes up with a list of all of our posts because
Perfect.
because
That's amazing.
our Facebook media manager Steve does a really good job of tagging all that stuff. So as long as he
Yeah, he
continues
does.
to do that,
Well, I also have an entire playlist that is built via
that's
the
exactly-
video
Yeah,
manager.
it works out really well.
So-
I mean, well done. Thank you.
so for
You're
those
awesome.
broke people that don't want to
Yay.
subscribe,
Subscribe.
And you don't like hopping over to YouTube and trying to figure stuff out.
although subscribing kind of helps us do that little tour thing.
It
we're trying to
does,
do in
it does.
September.
Really, really, really helps us. And it's not like you're only getting the podcast video over on Patreon.
No,
you're getting
no.
unreleased songs. You're getting exclusive looks at some of the old artwork.
Yeah, I'm putting artwork up. And that's even for our lower tiers. They get
Yep.
access to all the artwork.
Yeah,
So,
all
we
the
have
original.
tiers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have different tiers.
We have a big hug, which
Yep.
is our $1 tier.
Mhm.
I thought that was a firm handshake.
I like hugs.
Is it a handshake?
I
I
think
know
the
one's
firm
a high five.
Oh, is it high five?
Yeah,
I
think
can't
it's
remember.
high
Five, hug and tug.
High five, big high five, big hug, and never
just-
go full control freak.
I just created a new level though.
Yeah, we got our mid tier apparently.
we
Say
got another
hug and
tier
tug,
to add in.
Hug and tug.
That's right before Never Go Full Controller, probably.
All right, okay.
Oh my God.
Back to the podcast. Favorite road trip or vacation that you've done? What do you got, Chad?
Why am I starting on this?
You're on that end. You're on the left.
Wow.
You're on the left.
Because
from where you're sitting.
Chris introduced it, so it makes.
I swear you guys keep picking on me at this point.
Yeah, we're picking on you because
Yeah.
we want you involved in the episode.
That's absolutely what's happening.
I don't know. Destination wise, I haven't done a lot of travel. I think it was middle school. We did a field trip. We went to Turkey Run,
Neat.
and I got to do hiking and stuff, and got to see a lot of the state park stuff, and it was really cool. I love that as a school trip. That was just a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, I'm a big fan of Cedar Point. So most of my trips I took growing up was to the amusement park.
We should do like a controller day out. Are you into?
I don't do roller coasters at all.
You can just guard the.
Oh, don't worry.
stroller
I'll carry your
underneath.
purses.
There you go.
Oh, yay.
All right, yay. Our stuffed animals that we win at the,
Yep.
the arcade. or whatever.
Say, here, take my
That's right.
giraffe.
Throw the ring on the bottle. I want that big stuffed
Like, I
animal.
don't want to walk around
Take
with
my
this all day.
giraffe.
No, I love amusement parks. I'm a huge roller coaster junkie.
Right
Except for wooden coasters. With age, they've been.
Dude, the Gemini is so much fun, though. I love that thing.
Oh
'Cause
man, that
every
thing! Last time
you're
I was
going-
on it, that thing beat me.
I'm planning an Indiana
heck.
Beach trip next year, but it's also because one of my other bands is going to be playing at the beautiful Lake Schaefer.
I've never been
'Cause
to
there's
Indiana
more
It's
than
been
Beach.
core
so
in
many
Indiana.
years since I've been down
I
there.
know.
The last time I was down to Indiana Beach was a few years before it got sold out, and then ended up
They
getting
upgraded and
repurchased.
renovated, yeah, so I haven't been there since high school. So
Okay, so yeah, we're probably about the same time.
I
frame.
have never been to Indiana Beach.
I don't know
I've
what
always
it
done
involves
Cedar
now.
Point and
It's a
Kings
nice,
Island.
It's a nice bike ride down there.
Yeah, you can make it a day trip.
I'd definitely do a motorcycle ride down there.
Monticello, Indiana. So Chad's favorite road trip is just Tricky Run.
I do like
And then
hiking. State
amusement
parks are
parks.
beautiful, and there's actually there's two different routes that I want to do a motorcycle ride for. It's a waterfall tour in Indiana. They've got
Yep.
an upper and a lower waterfall tours.
Indiana's got enough like watershed areas that there's waterfalls. Nice.
Yeah,
That
we
sounds
have a
awesome.
few.
We do. It's
That
not
sounds
actually
beautiful.
the water
That's so
that you're
beautiful.
lacking. It's the elevation.
That sounds
yeah,
usually.
it's the elevation that's
so
missing.
beautiful.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Steve, what's your favorite road trip / or vacation?
It's kind of a tie for me, honestly. When I was really young, my dad, and my stepmom actually took an entire lighthouse tour through Michigan. Every lighthouse that was through the Upper Peninsula and Lower Peninsula.
So
that sounds
backstory:
nice.
you were from Michigan.
I am from originally. Yeah, I'm originally from Detroit and everything. So that's where I was born, raised for my early childhood and
Yeah,
everything
so
like
it's not
that.
like a Fort Wayne trek.
No. That was a
You were already,
local state.
You were already there.
Yeah.
Like,
This is
for
a-
your state.
Yeah, this is vacationing in my home state type
Hey.
thing. Yeah, we had actually done a entire road trip for almost a month, where we just drove and tent camped the whole thing, where we went and looped the entire perimeter of the UP, the Lower Peninsula, and just went and checked out the lighthouses. Usually only there for like a day. It was more about the actual scenery and the campsite, because a lot of the stuff is different about back then also. There wasn't a whole bunch of build-up for different campsites and everything like that, so there are a lot of the spots we were quote-unquote camping at was some guy that happened to have like 300 acres. He's like, yeah, if you want to go throw your tent up back there,
Like,
$5 for the
literally,
day.
Roughing it.
Yeah, $5. You can go camp out on my land. Just be mindful that there are some bobcats and some black bear and everything like that, which we actually did while we
Critters.
were on one of the UP stops, sleeping in the tent with my dad. The embers of the fire were still like fully going down and everything.
That's a good band name. Embers of the Fire.
Yeah,
Embers of the fire.
but we were laying in the tent. I'm not. No. It sounds like such a Christian rock band.
Embers
Oh.
of the fire.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm just simply making.
As we-
You're the one who took it as like, oh, it's
as we're doing this podcast on the day of Sabbath, that's not.
Yeah, yeah.
I had simply made a statement. You're the one who had
I'm big.
steered it into an
I'm
insult.
Big fans of Big J, so it's all right.
Either way,
Big G.
Big J, and the Holy Spook.
anyway, as the embers of the fire died down.
yeah, we're just laying in the tent, and I see a shadow walking outside of the tent. Big ass black bear just walking through our campsite.
It was the property owner.
Yeah.
He's like, excuse
Are
me.
you-
He didn't say.
Are you my big ass
he
black
didn't
bear,
say-
Chad?
He didn't say big old black ass. He said big old black bear. He didn't say big old black ass. He said big old black bear.
Yeah. And I just remember like seeing the silhouette. I'm like, Dad.
We're gonna get Ethan.
He's
Dad.
like half already dozed off. He rolls over. What? And I was like, Dad. He goes, "Oh," it just slams his hand against my mouth. I'm like, he goes, shh. We had our food bag hung up in the tree that was opposite side of our campsite. bear was just cutting through our campsite to get over to the food bag.
Did he
They
get
can
it?
climb trees.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
ended
did
up
he get
getting
it?
it. Yeah, he
Yeah,
ended
they
up
can
getting
climb
it.
trees, which would be
And-
interesting to see. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just in the tent and just hear all the wrestling of scurrying up the tree, and then thump, the bag hitting the ground. It's like, all right, well, we're going to the grocery store tomorrow, but
no breakfast.
I am
Well,
also
he-
going
he
to need to
wasn't
change
breakfast.
clothes.
Or a
Yeah.
midnight snack.
I just pooped my pants.
But yeah, it's kind of a tie between that trip and when my grandparents used to live down in Hilton Head. I would get sent down there for 2 weeks every summer by my parents and everything like that. And I was going down when I was really, really young. I was maybe 7 the first time I flew down there by myself. And so they would just throw the little plastic pilot wings on me to be a quick
Aw.
I
identifier.
think we were talking about that.
Yeah, and then they would throw me onto the golf cart for any of the changeovers in any of the airports, like Atlanta or something like that, and run me between terminals and throw me on the plane. But yeah, this was back in the day when the Hilton Head Airport had 0 actual pull-up tarmacs. You just got off on a big concrete slab,
And you
walked
walk
out of the
And you
plane,
walked
and just
over, yep.
keep going until
Yeah.
somebody stops you. Because this is well before 9/11, so everybody's just walking up and
Right up to the
waving.
plane.
Yeah.
Going
Yeah.
down the stairs and
Yep.
Yeah, and when the plane goes to take off, it's just like it turns and everybody's still just standing there like waiting.
Yeah,
at
kind
you.
of bye type thing. So, yeah, I did that probably. I think I had 3 or 4 years that had happened, where I would just go down there, hang for 2,
That's
3
really cool,
weeks
man.
with them and everything like that, and then they would end up driving me back up before the school year started, and then they would visit with all the rest of the family up in Michigan when they came up. So,
I was going to ask why it was a one-way flight. And then
yeah, because they would
the
end
parents
up.
kept trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I guess we gotta go."
return to sender.
Yeah, they
do not
they
return to
literally
sender.
sent me like 5 states away,
Yeah.
and the people that they sent me to are like, no,
You better call your mom and dad, kid.
no takebacks.
No take back.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, it would be a tie between the two of those. So, Jeff,
Okay, so backstory. My dad, he was in the Navy, and then he was in the Navy again, and then after he was in the Navy, he was in the Navy again, and then after
didn't he get
that,
into the Navy after that?
he worked for defense for the government, and while he was doing that, he worked overseas, and we did a lot of traveling. But it was like around 7th grade, we ended up in the Philippines, and that's where my mom's from. So I got to meet a whole crap ton of my family over there. Honestly, okay, this is a question for anybody who might happen to be Asian that's listening, might happen to understand. Dude, how many cousins and uncles and aunts and crap do you have? Because I swear, we have people in our family who are just uncles, aunts, and cousins because they said so.
I will say this from your friend standpoint. I hear the word aunt, uncle, or even more so cousin come
Yeah.
out of your mouth
Dude.
more than anybody else I
Not
know.
really-
True.
I don't really know if I'm
My
like
best
actually
friend was
related.
called Uncle for the longest time to my kids that they believed it until I had
Oh,
to explain
And I get
that
that.
wasn't
yeah,
really
yeah.
their uncle.
You know, and
And
I
I get
kind of
that.
gather that, but like it was just the other day.
you just haven't been set
I-
correct. And they're still to you. They're still uncles. And
I
cousins.
mentioned it to my mom about like, oh, that's really nice. Thanks for that.
Hey, you're welcome.
Oh, and it smells like food up. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
delicious.
Emma's
Anyway.
cooking.
That is,
Cool air
that is
and
that is a
food smell.
Patreon subscribe to figure out what we're just talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels so much better now.
It
though.
does feel so much better.
Oh,
We could have
yeah.
had this open earlier.
Oh yeah.
At any rate, though,
Any
in
rate.
the Philippines,
My apologies.
we stayed in and around this province by Cebu, and it was by a volcano that's in a lake that's in a volcano that's in a lake. And that's the coolest thing I think I ever saw, because you could swim in the one ring of the lake that was in the volcano, but you couldn't swim in the other one because it was too hot, but you could go to the center one.
I feel like that's a Mufasa symbol.
The circle of life.
Everything
great,
beyond that, we
man.
don't touch anything beyond
And then, like,
this.
We don't
in
touch that
in
circle.
the mountains up there too. Like, you got all of the rice paddy fields that are like steps
tiered.
down the mountain. Yeah, and that's really neato. So yeah. If there was any one It's not really a road trip. Sky trip. I did the sky trip.
vacation.
Vacation slash
Yeah.
road trip.
Yeah.
But we were there for like a year and a half or something like that while my dad worked there.
So staycation. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a
Yeah,
staycation.
yeah, that's
Like truly, he stayed for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
so-
minor relocation.
Yeah, well, and while we were there, we went to visit our other family. We have family in Okinawa, Japan, and then we also went to
Yeah. Those are other
Singapore.
cousins.
Yeah,
More-
no,
more
those,
cousins,
those
aunts,
were
and uncles.
actually family. Okay,
No,
I knew
it's-
for a
They're
fact.
actually for real.
Yeah, because Chris also goes,
Direct bloodline. I got
Family.
it.
But man, like when we were in Cebu, there were plenty of times where it was like we were staying at a cousin or an uncle or an aunt's house.
Yeah.
Welcome to actual family.
Yeah, exactly.
actually family.
And I'm like, how? And then I'd find out later on, oh, my mom would be like, no, I went to school with her for like, 2 years. I'm like, that's not what family is.
So she's your cousin now.
But yeah, that would probably be the best. But I was really young, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, same with both of mine.
Yeah.
Both of mine happened before I was 12.
And then the other odd, if it's like a toss up between the two, we lived down in Alamogordo, New Mexico for a while.
Okay.
And we decided to go to this place called White Sands Beach.
Yes.
It's not like a beach; it's like dunes,
Yeah.
actually.
I know what place you're talking about, though.
So,
Yep.
so we went down there, and it's like, I specifically remember the day we went down there. There was snow, because it was weird. Like it was almost Christmas time. Everybody was laughing because it was like the first time.
Yeah, but isn't the elevation there like something like multiple thousand above sea level, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
thought
I
it
do
was.
know.
He was just a mere child.
Yeah, I was still just a mere child. I do remember though driving to White Sands.
Just a youngling.
I remember driving to White Sands and getting there, and it being warm out, but it was still snowing, and then a blizzard or like a windstorm hit while we're in White Sands. So you're getting pelted by wet, gross snow and sand, and it hurts and it sucks.
Why can't I see anymore?
Hey, we said favorite.
No, but you hear me out.
Not.
No,
sound
listen,
like
listen.
a good
hear
I
me
was
out.
blinded for 3 months, but it was amazing.
The best,
Wonderful.
The best part of
Sand was
all of
everywhere.
it. The best part of all of it is,
Everywhere.
and the reason why it became my favorite trip that we did was because I was supposed to be starting school that week. Well, the sandstorm, slow storm, what have you,
Slow storm.
it had made the highways impassable because they had
Sandstorm.
no way of clearing the amount of sand that was there. So we ended up staying just outside of Alamogordo for like a week. And I didn't have to start school, and it was really fun. That's why I liked it. That was a really great trip. And we
Sounds
lived in an apartment, or not a hotel room during that week, and they
Oh,
had
yeah.
cable, and we didn't have cable where I was
So you're
living.
like,
So
I'm never
if we
leaving.
encounter sand at all during our tour, it's going to unlock a core memory. For
Yes.
Probably.
Hell, now it'll be a matter of how wet the sand is, though. Which memory it unlocks, and everything like that.
Dude, the sand though, like it wasn't wet. Well, the mud that and the rain bits that were hitting you, where it was the sand was getting inside the car, even with the windows up. That was the craziest part. It was like,
Yeah, because it's really fine sand
Yeah.
there, the white sand area.
yeah, and it was like everywhere you went, you were breathing. I probably have like some sort of like.
Mesothelioma.
Yeah, or something from that. Yeah, some inhalable.
See, what they're not telling you is white sands is actually just ground up asbestos.
That makes a lot of sense. I thought it was either that or it was like garlic powder that had not yet been treated by feet.
Right.
All right, well that's me. Okay, Chris, here we go.
So I was thinking about this while you guys were going. So probably if anybody knows me, I am kind of masochistic with my life.
Uh-huh.
I am
My goodness.
busy.
What?
All the time.
Never.
So actually, my favorite vacation was my busiest one. So I just got back from
I was
California.
going to say this one?
No, believe it or not.
Oh, God, there was
so
a busier one?
This the vacation I'm going to explain, it actually taught me to actually vacate when you're on vacation. But it's still to this day probably my favorite. The kids were young. Let's see, it's probably 2014, 2015. And it was our first family vacation. I'm like, we're going to go all out. We're doing everything. We're going to go to Florida. The destination was Destin, Florida, which is about 13 hours.
Yep.
Right in the Gulf. Nice drive.
Almost straight down from here.
It is. We had a dolphin excursion planned. I had snorkeling planned. I have all these other things planned in Florida. But on the way, we're stopping. I'm leaving Friday from work. We're stopping in Lexington overnight so I can sleep because I'm the driver. My oldest at this time is probably 14.
Okay.
Pretty close, something like that. So, like, I'm literally the only driver.
Not like you take suggestions for other drivers anyway.
Right.
I'm the only adult
Yeah.
on the trip, okay?
Yeah,
So
that's
we
what it
stopped in
was when we
Lexington.
were riding
Yeah.
too. I mean,
I was not the only adult on that trip.
Depends
Well,
on
you
who
would-
you ask.
you would have thought.
Yeah.
Stopped in Lexington overnight. Then we drove to Gatlinburg. We spent the day in Gatlinburg. We did the aquarium down there. He's,
Sorry. Didn't mean
He's
to leave you
horrible at
hanging.
leing people hanging. Isn't he,
That,
Chris?
I was
He
looking
did it
that
to
way.
me
I was
earlier,
trying
too.
to pay attention to him.
So we did the aquarium. That was fun. A memorable moment there was GPS took me through the state park.
Mhm.
That was windy and hilly and went
Yep.
up before it went back down. So right outside the mountains. And I'm driving a vehicle that has near balding tires, and the headlights were kind of dim, and it was raining.
Nowhere
And so-
near equipped for the trip you were planning to take.
So as you gain elevation, the rain turns into sleet, turns into snow, and
Yeah.
I'm like, all at the same time, I lost GPS and I lost all my phone signals. So I'm nothing going into a mountain at dusk. So by now it's evening with no guardrails.
Yep.
I found a turnaround. I was like, I'm out.
yeah.
So we went
Yeah.
back, and then as we exited the state park, they were closing the road. That's
I
how
remember
bad-
you talking
that's
about
how
that.
treacherous it was.
Yeah.
getting. I'm like, I made a good decision there. So for future vacations, I did not take that route.
Right.
Anyway, so we left Gatlinburg. We went to Atlanta. We stayed 2 days in Atlanta. We did the Legoland.
That's amazing.
So we spent some time there. Went from Atlanta, and I think I had spent years. We drove to Destin. We spent 3 days in Destin. Jam-packed in Destin. Like I said, dolphin
You?
tours.
Never.
We did. We were supposed to snorkel. It was the kids were young and the water was choppy, and my
Yeah.
daughter freaked out. Absolutely freaked out. So I'm a single dad. Got my 3 kids. Let's go experience things, kids.
Right.
When I went snorkeling prior to, it was a very calm beach in the Bahamas.
Okay.
So
so
we're
it was all chill.
being dropped off in a cove like 150 yards out from the shoreline. So go swim to the shore before you can snorkel. So as soon as she gets in the water, these waves are just 7
Hammering.
feet.
Oh,
She's
no.
freaking out, clutching me. Get back in the boat. We spend 3 hours of the snorkel tour on the boat. Yay.
Well, you like time on the water, so it's okay.
Yeah, I almost lost her in a shopping plaza district right there because she wanted to check out henna tattoos while we were walking through, and she decided to stop and look.
Yeah, it's fair.
But-
And he had an itinerary. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm
don't
not
mess
done.
with that
I am not
itinerary.
done. So after we spent 2 or 3 days in Destin, we literally drove through Biloxi, Mississippi, and New Orleans. Now, I didn't preface this by telling you I collect drumsticks, and I started collecting drumsticks from Hard Rock cafes.
Yes.
And so on the low, my idea was like, let's turn this into a Hard Rock cafe collection. Like I'm literally mapping out our vacation, and like, oh, we can just leave Destin and jog over 2 hours over here just so I can buy a pair
Yep.
of drumsticks. So we drove through Biloxi, got a pair of drumsticks. We drove through New Orleans, got a pair of drumsticks. On the way to Memphis. Now, if you're mapping this out, that's not on the way to Memphis from Destin. But
no.
Not at all.
so we stayed in Memphis. We
But
did
when there's a pair of drumsticks involved, it is.
I mean,
we did the Memphis Zoo, and then we were going to drive back home, and we were going to do one of the Superman. I think it was Batman versus Superman was coming out.
Okay.
But we hit road construction. No, it wasn't road construction. There was a serious accident that pretty much stopped the interstate for hours, and we bypassed. And by this time, I'm like, I'm ready to go home. I'm tired. The kids are tired. We spent like way too long on the road on the way home at this point.
Right.
But hey, 13 drumsticks later. 13 pairs of drumsticks later.
Mission accomplished,
Which
okay?
I'm going to add to my collection this October when I go up to see Freak on a Leash
So are you gonna?
Oh, the Chicago one?
in the Chicago.
How
Are
have
you-
you never, with the proximity,
They're-
out of all of the sticks,
I don't go out of my way to.
You
No,
literally-
I say that. And I literally just described the whole vacation. No,
Yeah.
listen,
right.
I
It's
don't
the-
go out of my way until I go out of my way.
It's
Yeah,
what-
if it's a
it's
2-hour
a new
ride.
one. It's new. It's not. That's why it's new.
It's a 2-hour ride.
I was
going to
say,
vacation.
you were
already,
literally going to Chicago
And without-
for work.
Without canceling my Hard Rock Cafe sponsorship, guys, if you want to sponsor,
Sponsor.
their food is mediocre. So I'm not going to stop there unless I really have a reason. And the drumsticks,
Like a drumstick?
Nah, that's not
to
a reason.
do a
That
full
was 10
like
years ago.
6-hour bypass.
2-hour.
I've
2-hour
matured
bike.
since then.
I've matured.
You've matured.
So I'm going to go see Freak and get a pair of drumsticks.
So the guy who says he matured, if I remember correctly, the restaurant that you recommended when we were at our show in Chicago was one of the most immature restaurants you could possibly
yeah.
Wait.
I'm sure you'd like Dick's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, only because you showed me the way. He told me
Anyway,
how.
so it was actually one of my favorite ones because first of all, it taught me that vacations should actually be vacations.
Yeah.
Which I did
Not just
enjoy.
a punch
and
list.
Most recently, I did enjoy 3 days of just chill this past time.
and relax.
Once you let go of the stress of the wallet and
Oh my jeez,
the car.
it wasn't mine, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The car was a whole other thing. Anyway, so favorite.
There you go.
So now we want to talk about
Dream.
dream vacation.
Dream vacation.
How about you start it up and we go
'Cause
the
I was
other way
just-
around?
I was just-
because we
'Cause
let
I was just-
Chad.
I was just.
we let Chad.
Yeah, there you go.
not
It's
feel
your turn.
picked on.
Dream vacation, Chris.
I've never really planned a dream vacation because living in the middle/poverty class is just like don't even think about it.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
but
true.
there's at least I'm sure that place where you're like that
because
looks
single
beautiful.
dad with 3 kids is like, is my dream vacation a family vacation or is my dream vacation a bachelor vacation?
Well, let me ask.
Ooh.
Let me ask
Chad's
and
like,
try to give
ooh.
you a clarification on this one. It doesn't even necessarily, for me, it doesn't even necessarily need to be a realistic type thing. Like, have you ever seen that picture where you're like that dream island where you're like, oh my god, I know I could never afford to go there.
So
And
kind of.
I'm not oohing because of the bachelor vacation. It's just like having to come up with a
have to
decision
choose.
for you.
Okay, so this isn't.
Yeah.
This is. I could.
'Cause
I
you're
could
like,
probably
I don't have-
manage
I
to
don't
turn
want
this
to
to a
vacation.
vacation, but it'd be more of like a road trip / vacation.
Okay.
Bucket list thing to do is number 1 would be shipwrecked,
Okay.
but number 2 would be like any of those like cruise types, concert festival things. So
Gotcha.
are you familiar with shipwrecked?
Yeah.
Shipwrecked.
Yeah, and then the Emo's Not
So,
Dead tour.
Shipwrecked is where there's like a usually it's like a 5-day type cruise, and it's got
okay,
like
word.
20 bands on it.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they, they,
Deck of
they,
the-
they on the main deck
Frog Leap
there's a concert
usually does it.
but then
Yeah.
also in their performance area, like their theater area, they'll have shows also. So it's like constantly like rock and roll shows, meet and greets.
I think
Yeah.
it's always like
Cruise.
all music is going between like 1 p.m. and like midnight
Just
every day
all
of the tour.
long. And then at some point you
That sounds like fun.
stop
Yeah.
probably in the Bahamas or somewhere, and you have your regular like cruise excursions.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you could be 3 a.m. and you're at a bar like rubbing elbows with Sean Morgan or something like
Yeah.
from Seether. Like
Because all of them are
that's-
stuck on the boat the same way you
they
are.
can't,
Yeah.
They can't escape.
Yep.
But no, that's probably a bucket list right there. And
Okay.
that's-
Because you know the Emo's Not Dead one, right? So
I only know the Shipwreck one, but I think Megadeth used to have one.
I don't know about that, but yeah, the
Quiet
Emo's Not
Riot.
Dead one is a guy who has his own YouTube channel, and Emo's Not Dead is the name of the channel and everything, but he ended up kind of starting his own music project that is a alter ego, if you will, of his character that he plays in the channel that ends up pretty much somehow vicariously being friends with every like major emo band that ever existed, and he has all of the actual bands in his videos. Well, he was like, well, if I'm friends with all these guys and the Shiprock thing's so cool, why don't I do an emo cruise?
Yeah, it's just like a genre.
And so it's like a
different genre.
20 band,
Yeah.
nothing but emo bands cruise.
Yeah, so bands that have done it like Seven Dust, Nonpoint, the Dead Deads, which they were recently in Fort Wayne, and I'm so disappointed I missed them last week.
Spirit Box did it a couple years ago.
Yeah, there's all sorts of levels of musicianship. Eve Under Fire has done it, and we've even opened for them. But Eve Under Fire, gosh, like I can.
Oh, the list is huge.
Seether, I literally mentioned Sean Morgan because I know
Yep.
that Seether's done it. So like those, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a big old like I don't foresee Shinedown doing something like that. But at the same time, like it's still these are major touring bands that you're spending 5 days and getting to just do nothing but rock and roll, vacation, sun, hopefully sun.
And an open buffet the whole time.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, open buffet the whole time. The
So
whole
how
thing.
do we
Buffet.
sign up as an act?
Yeah.
I want to go.
Hey, you need to
Already
perform.
sure.
I'm eating.
I think we've talked about this a few podcasts, like pay to play, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those
Yeah.
situations
That one
where
I might find
might-
worth
yeah,
it.
Might
I don't
be outside
know.
of our
Depending
budget.
depending on what's for dinner, you know.
And does the bands get the open buffet? Because trust me, we can eat
Yeah.
Yeah.
how much we paid.
Yeah,
We can
seriously.
do this.
If we
My
get an open bar
tapeworm-
tab and open buffet,
my tape
we will make our money back.
So that's-
will need its own bar
That's
tab.
probably a dream because I can always, if you know me, I can make a couple days before, like spend some time in Miami or Orlando,
Right.
doing some stuff down there. I've been to Universal, so it'd be fun to be there again for a day, few days on the beach or whatever. But then also like incorporating the
Mhm.
5 day.
Yeah.
Well, like we were talking about, you got the around the world thing to where you can go to Universal and get drunk at the park on all the different regional cocktails.
Mhm.
Pre-game before you get on a cruise where you just get drunk the whole time.
Pre-game
and rock
before
out.
this podcast, I know that.
But no, I think the Shiprock guy, that's a different idea. And I think it's really cool, actually.
That is
'cause I don't
really
think
yeah.
most people think about that type of a vacation. They're looking at the
I went on a cruise once before when I was like 16. Won't get into the stories on that, but I enjoyed it. But it's always been like one of those like out of reach kind of things,
Right.
Like
Mhm.
scheduling and cost and like. And when I say scheduling, I mean like trying to make sure that my vacation lined up because this
Yep.
isn't like flying somewhere. Like you have to be available on your vacation at the same time that the ship's actually leaving the port.
right.
Um,
Yeah, they have a set date, and
Yeah.
you're going to make it work.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like usually like a Wednesday through a Monday or something. So
Yep.
you really have it's a little bit of coordination, but definitely something. I'm on the email list, so every so often they send me an email about it, and I'm like, not this year.
How much does it cost generally?
One year I almost actually just signed up for the waiting list because there's a waiting list.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it like a $600?
$1,200 to $1,400
Okay.
for an inside stateroom, which means you don't even get a view; you just get to be
Okay.
on the boat.
Right.
And so here's the thing: so if you
Gotcha.
donate about cruises, you're not signing up $1,200 for a room for you. You're signing up for $1,200 to share a room with one or two other occupants. So
see.
it's like $3,600 a
So it's
room.
always ideal if it's you along with a couple other buddies
Yeah.
that are like,
Yeah,
we're all
throwing
in.
down the
Yep.
couple thousand. Let's go. Yeah.
I don't even know what the deposit would like. I've never. Again, it's we say dream because it's been like right outside of reach,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping that by 2025 this will be something I'll get to enjoy because I'm finally getting to a point. My kids are getting older, so
Yeah.
sidebar. We talk about. I've talked about midlife crisis.
Yeah.
It's not really a midlife crisis. It's just because the kids have all left the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Now
yeah.
I've got this money that usually gets spent on kids, and I can spend it on me.
Right. Well, and we kind of talked about the expense of a
So you're
concert
getting
just
Legos?
with the last
You
episode.
finally buying your own Legos now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
But yeah, we
Drumsticks.
kind of talked about the expense of the excursion show anyway, because like the show out in Vegas, they were given
yeah.
a rough ballpark of about $1,100 planned expenditure per person. So I mean, the idea of you getting on a cruise for that price,
Right.
but all your food is taken care of.
Yeah, the all-inclusive thing is definitely nice, and again, it's timing for finances.
Yeah.
Because if you're familiar with any like actual festival, like those tickets go on sale. So, for instance, we'll talk about Rock on the Range because I'm familiar with that, or Sonic
Temple.
Temple. So that's in May, but those tickets actually pre-sale and go on sale in like October.
Yep.
Before the lineup's announced. So it's the same thing with Shiprock. Like that's in the end of January. So those tickets are pretty much like coming
I
up.
think with
And I'm
Shiprock
like,
though, they
ugh.
they at least line up what their main headliner is before they announce the next year's ticket sales, to where they at least give, this is our big band that's going to be the main headliner for
Yeah.
this.
And then again,
year's Shiprock
it flows
cruise.
down to like there's
Yeah.
there's a waiting list at
Yeah.
that point. So it's like the waiting list, timing, the finances. Like it's just never been in the cards for me. Like I almost pulled the trigger once, and then it ended up being like, nah, I'm going to do the family vacation instead.
Yeah.
So which is I don't regret that, but
Right.
it's at
The give or take.
the financial. What's the word? The disposable income that I have at this point. It is a choice I have to make. So
Yeah, you got to decide
I
where
gotta
your
do the
funds are
dad
being
thing
allocated.
First. Dad thing
Mhm.
first.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get only a few years to do that. So,
I think this honestly was probably my last family vacation.
Oh, we kind of talked. Well, at least with all the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think
mean-
the oldest one I had to twist his arm and actually buy his airplane ticket and say, "Oh, oops, you're coming." And then with my daughter, she's 18. She'll probably come, and then my oldest will be 17 next year. So it's
up in the air.
it is
whether or
getting to
not.
that point.
Yeah, that's why I was saying your oldest probably yes. The other two are probably like, well, you're paying. Okay.
Maybe.
All right, so
Yeah.
sliding down the section here.
Sliding down the section here.
Where if you could disappear anywhere for any extended
Road
period
trip
of time.
or vacation, yeah.
Road trip or vacation?
Because I got one for Chad. I got an idea for you.
So
Oh, do you now?
Oh, I kind of already do for you as well.
Ooh.
I'm going to keep it on that
I
tropical
like how people
theme
have ideas
from
for my
before.
vacations.
Back into the Philippines area,
am I
there's
dreaming?
this place called Boracay.
I kind of got a good idea.
Yeah, hey, it's
Sorry.
Jeff's turn.
That's it.
Boracay?
Yeah.
Not
To do
you mentioned
anything
this in
there.
your-
It's where the Vault of God is, man. We get to see where like
more
the
volcanoes and water.
well, no, it's like the
Isn't that like
ocean
a
goes.
cove?
The ocean goes and drops off when you see the brine ocean underneath. So you actually see where the ocean changes from clear to like this weird green-blue color.
Oh,
And it's so cool because it's like
that's
it's
a
like
line. It just doesn't mix.
yeah, it's just a curtain of salt water that can't mix in with the fresh water.
Mhm.
And Boracay is like right there. It's just this beautiful blue jewel.
Even though there's
Right on
been a
the
lot of
edge.
people, and to give clarification, there's a lot of people who've seen that picture and think that's where the Atlantic and the Pacific
No,
are meeting, and it's like, no,
the
no, 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 no.
Philippine Sea.
That's not the two oceans not able to blend.
Yeah.
That's someplace else.
Yeah, but that's legit, and it's really cool. I mean, I've seen it before when I was like younger, but I would like to go to Boracay now.
Where is the underwater waterfall located at? That one's
That's
somewhere in Indonesia, isn't it? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, well, it might be down by Borneo though. It might be further
okay, yeah.
south. Because Indonesia is like north of Luzon and whatnot, and I want to say it's like because you've got
You ever seen a picture of the underwater waterfall, Chris? Are you looking that up?
It's
No.
pretty incredible
look it up.
actually.
I'm texting.
You should. Well, I'm sorry that we bore you, but you should look up underwater
And
waterfall.
honestly,
He got done with his story. He's
Super
like,
social.
I'm good.
honestly,
I'm
what I
super
want to
fun.
go there for is because of the incredible luau style food
Okay.
that happens basically all the time. You can like, even if it's a party on the beach that's just continuous.
That's just yes.
Yeah, and so that's like I want to go because it's like getting to go to like a beach that's always having a cookout. And
So what you're
always
telling me is
welcome
that
to
you
eat.
found the beach bum mecca?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I want to go do.
No, so I was listening. So like, yeah, I was paying attention, but
A constant
he's actually
luau.
going to take a vacation to take a vacation.
Well, he's taking a vacation that he hopes turns permanent, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, well,
big
yeah,
party.
that's fair.
Speaking of
Big
one-way-
party all the time.
Big party all the time.
Speaking of one-way trips,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'd probably go.
Boracay.
Boracay.
How do you spell that?
I have no
For
idea.
those of us listening that might want to live vicariously for you.
Turn on closed caption.
Which is
Maybe
not-
it'll pick it up.
It's
I think
in
it's
the Philippines.
BORICI, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, I could look it up.
YouTube, you can hit closed caption, and a lot of times it'll auto
We'll
generate.
just
Check that out.
Google it. Hold on.
I think it's BORICI, I thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to one of our podcasts and turn on closed captioning.
Yeah.
And then at the one point where we're
See how
all,
bad it grabbed?
where we're all talking at the same time.
It's going to have so
It'll be
many
like-
missed words.
It's just going to have question marks scroll across the
Yeah,
bottom.
BORICI.
Okay, yeah. I thought that was BORICI. Yeah.
B-O-R-I-C-I, Boracay.
Hold on. I'll show you a picture.
Show ya. Whereabouts is this?
This is in the Philippines. Yeah, it's really,
It's
really
so
pretty.
beautiful.
It's so
It's
beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah.
So beautiful.
And like, look at the water there, man.
It does remind me of Destin. So as I said, being down in Destin,
Yeah.
it's near the Emerald Coast. So like if you're familiar with,
I can
Like,
promise you,
you're
though,
like
the
a
water clarity there,
oh, probably much more.
much better than Destin.
Oh yeah, because Destin's a touristy trap.
Dirty.
Yeah.
And hopefully everyone that's living in the Philippines is doing awesome. I know that they had hurricanes.
Yeah, they had a typhoon come through not too long ago.
Yeah, typhoons.
I don't know if it got all the way over to them, though.
Well, got family that's just all the way through that.
I know
kind of
Burma
swath.
got smacked with it,
Yeah.
but
And I saw something about Guam too having issues. So
Guam's
So-
kind of in the middle of
so-
nowhere.
love
so.
you, Tonga Empire. Mahal kita.
So I will say this: I used to, when I was younger, be much more inclined to lean towards kind of the like tropical island type thing, where
When you mean younger, you mean like young
I
adult.
would say like late teens, early 20s.
I'm old enough to make my own decisions, Dad.
Yeah.
I know where I want a vacation.
Well, I mean, because when Em and I first got together, and then we started talking about getting married and where the dream honeymoon would possibly be
Right,
at
well,
and
I
everything.
mean-
We had both talked about like just a dream vacation before we even got together. Like, where would that be and everything? And for the longest time, Fiji was like that island, that place where it's like that would be awesome and everything. But honestly, the more time goes on,
Where do you want to go, Truman?
Fiji. Yeah. Honestly, more time goes on, and the more I see like videos of it and pictures of it, northern British Columbia in Canada, through the it's all this like rural, like rocky mountain, non-developed.
That's funny
no real
'cause, like,
towns.
There's
gonna
something
turn into the mountain guy.
There's something up in the BC where I wanna check out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
as soon as you get like mid Providence up, there's like nothing, and it's just pure wilderness, but it's all pristine still.
You're really trying to go get eaten by that bear, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's trying to find
I
that.
want to go say
I
hi
won't
to the
lie,
guy.
I do not see Steve as like a roughing it type.
Yeah, no, I do actually.
I don't see
I
you.
do. Like, if he didn't have to shave or like keep any sort of that, like he'd be like that.
He's
He'd be that
mountain man.
lumberjack dude. He would.
I don't think you realize how much camping equipment.
Yeah,
we
he
have
would be that
underneath
lumberjack
stairwell
guy.
right there.
He's a camper.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Legitimate.
like
That's why
right-
his itineraries are so
I
absolute.
guess I like camping, but I still
Oh no, we were
I
on our.
pressed the glamping stage. Like,
Oh no, we were on our way up to the
Yeah.
wedding.
Yeah, I want
working
showers.
toilet and like
Yeah, no, we were on our way up to the wedding the other day, and we were talking about where are we doing the family camping trip this year and everything. We're talking, are we heading down towards the Mammoth Caves this time? Are we going maybe more towards just Clifty Falls again, or where are we going at? And yeah, we do all just primitive tent camping.
Yeah. So if
we should plan some sort of like band camping.
if Steve,
Well, I tried to on the
Band,
last tour,
band.
but
I
I
mean,
got
we
told,
were going to on
I
the
need a
last tour.
bed.
well, for a tour. Hold up.
I need a bed.
It's
Hold
all
up.
right. It's
That's
all
not
right.
a relaxing
Hold
time for
up.
me.
Nothing was supposed to be about
And
relaxing about a tour.
I'm going to ignore the driving part because I did volunteer for that. But that does not sound like a good time. Camping while carrying gear and playing shows, and then camping and carrying gear and playing shows. No.
I heard some people really love it.
I need a bed.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'm going to agree with him on it.
I
But
can camp if I know that I'm going to relax and have an
What we
opportunity
need
to chill.
what we need is we need stagehandy people to handle all that, so we can just go.
September 1st to the 10th. We
Yeah.
have room for one or two if you guys want.
We have room for one. Let's be realistic. We have room for one.
We'll just cramp Bob in the back.
Okay.
Fine.
Hey, you're about to have a really tight buddy back there.
No, you can. I can do 3 wide in the midsection.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was just 2 buckets.
Nope.
Okay.
I have a bench seat in the back.
I almost said retake right there because when you said you could fit 3 wide.
Hashtag retake.
Okay, so, but yeah, that's kind of where, as I've gotten older, that's kind of where the idea of like the dream place to go vacation or for an extended vacation, even like the accidental vacation. Oh no, I stayed.
Oh no.
So yes, Chad, I'm gonna let him say real quick, but I want to throw out my recommendation of your
Okay.
dream vacation.
I'm gonna give you.
All right.
Are we all supposed to recommend?
I mean, we
Chad
don't all
something?
have to, but he said, "Oh, I got an idea," and it made me
Bring-
think.
Well,
Bring
based
on
on
the
his answer.
Well, I want to throw this out there and see if it happens to be that'd be cool, or
Go to that
oh no, that was
place.
exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
So, do you know what the PCH is?
No.
Okay, so Highway 1, the Pacific Coast Highway, runs the entire spine of the state of California all the way up into Oregon and Washington. You were literally riding
Oh, yeah.
against the Pacific Ocean
You have the view
the entire
the entire time.
time.
That does
And-
sound really cool.
You on your bike
Oh, definitely cool there.
for the entire PCH.
Yeah, I would love. Oh God,
So you
A
have
beautiful
all
view
the forests
on a long stretch of motorcycle ride.
and mostly non-rainy 70-degree weather all the way up until
Yeah,
northern.
California was great.
Yeah,
okay.
that
Mine,
sounds like
mine
a
wasn't. You may have
fantastic-
already done it, so it's kind of partially ask but partially suggest. Dragon's Tail.
I've made plans once to go because I've got a friend down Knoxville area, so it's not far from getting into the mountains onto the Dragon's Tail. So it's like he doesn't ride motorcycle. He has a nice Camaro though.
Which
so
I've heard that cars do that, but I've actually heard it's very dangerous for cars. Well, it's dangerous to begin with.
Yeah.
But I've heard some real horror stories of cars hot riding it.
Yeah,
Mm.
not
we could say.
not respecting it.
Not respecting
Basically using the accelerator way too heavy.
Okay, so
but I've had thoughts and have wanted to go do the Dragon's Tail.
And then my suggestion is Avriva, Italy, for the carnival in Avriva. Now, don't participate in the carnival, but definitely get drunk and watch people throw oranges and pelt each other as hard as they can.
I've seen videos of that.
Yeah, so yes, yeah, the Avriva.
Is there a story behind why you suggested
Yeah.
that?
Because it'd be hilarious. Are you kidding me?
Chad,
Jeff's like, I'm not going to do that. Chad,
No,
you should
go-
totally
no,
go.
with
you should,
oranges.
no, I'm not saying he should get hit. He should get drunk and watch people get hit because it's ridiculous. Look at that. They're throwing oranges at
At
each
least
other,
Chris and I
man.
were like genuinely. I know one of your favorite things to
Oh
do in
yeah,
real life.
I mean,
Dude, whatever. He likes watching people get hurt.
He
Okay, look, these people are
Jeff's
getting
like,
hurt.
I'm
They're
gonna
throwing
offer you up.
oranges.
I will say that I do have several destination spots.
Dude, seriously, they like, yeah,
Yeah.
No, that's like it.
dude, they're wearing
That's-
like armor and so on because they're throwing oranges at each other.
I bet I've never been hit by an
Full
orange.
on, man.
What a-
So,
Yeah.
the
Where do you
motorcycle-
want to actually
the motorcycle
go?
rides sound fantastic, and I'm going to put those on the
Orange
list.
pelting.
I have several destinations that I do want to see. I want to go see Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I knew about that.
I want to see the Grand Canyon, and I do want to go on a cruise. But one of my big ones that I want to do is in British Columbia. It's a sky park in the woods.
Oh, that's
So it's a bunch of bridges up and through the trees, and then they also have this bridge that rounds on the edge of like a cliff or something on the side of the cliff face. And it's just, that's all it is a bunch of bridges high up in the air that to me just looks gorgeous, looks like fun. I want to do this.
That sounds really cool, man.
All right,
BC
so where
is
we
just beautiful.
Yeah.
I still
Beautiful.
think.
just
I
look
s-
I think this is going to be a two-parter.
Is this going to be a two-part?
No, this is just going to be about a 45-minute episode.
All right.
Yeah, 'cause
Does it have a clock? Where am I?
when I reset the camera, we were at 19, so I can.
Does that mean that we're supposed to end it there? Is that what's happening? here?
No, I mean I'm just like, it's so for context.
We're at 28 right now,
for,
so
this
About-
is not 28 minutes, really.
after I reset, so yeah, it was almost 45.
There you go. So for context,
Mhm.
we were not going to do a podcast, and I was like, you know what? Let's put one in the can. That way, if something happens, we've got a show coming up.
Yep.
Yep.
We're still in recording, but there's a lot of things happening for
Chris wanted to put one
Yeah.
in his can.
and I was like, I want to put one in your can because you're the editor.
Oh no. Retake.
So that way, you
No.
just there was nobody said.
you could have cussed right there.
I didn't though.
He could have dropped an F-bomb for the third time.
Fuck you, Jeff. I didn't say anything yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
my bad.
yeah. I've only dropped 2 this
Entire time.
This is what episode 20 something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
this
only
is
dropped
23.
2. So come on, give me credit.
Okay, you got some credit.
Anyway,
Street.
I was just saying we were
Street
just
credit.
we were literally like, oh, we don't know. Started talking. A few drinks later,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, let's just do this. And now we're like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and it also helped that we were able to talk long enough that we came up with the idea for the next
Got another
episode.
topic.
This
So-
is true.
so first of all, if you want to, you can comment your favorite vacation or road trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Please.
dream, like whatever you want to engage. Obviously, help engage our page and Patreon and subscribe and all that good stuff.
Please do.
But our next
Please.
one is
We're discussing one-hit wonders.
One hit wonder.
And we will give you, obviously, much more insight and details about that very broad topic.
Yeah, people who
Next
got
episode.
hit one time and wondered about it. So definitely.
that was me. It's the only fight I've ever been in. I get punched me in the diaphragm.
Are you kidding?
No, not kidding. I was like, it was like 7th grade.
Yeah.
The guy hit me in the right spot, and I'm like, okay.
All right, but details on this story next week.
That was it.
Yes, so
And then-
one-hit wonders. And let us know where you would like to go. Thank you so very much for joining us.
We appreciate you.
Love you.
Love you. Later.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Actually Controller. If you liked what you heard, please consider following us on all our socials. You can easily find us on all the different platforms by going to linktree/controller33 or scan the QR code if you are watching the video version of this episode. Thank you.